Hello, and welcome to Team Liskov's restaurant scheduling app. My name is Cole Wutzke, and I will be joined with Malcolm Nielsen and Scott Bonza. I will be taking you through the first portion of the application. On opening of the app, you will see the main schedule screen. But if we navigate to the bottom here, we can click on the employee. This brings us to the employee screen. This screen allows you to manage all current and past employees. While we are on this page, you are able to add a new employee by clicking on the Add button in the bottom right. When adding an employee, you're required to enter a first and last name, as well as the employee's phone number and email. So let's go ahead and do that. These fields ensure that the information is as correct as possible. Now let's say we make an error in the email per se, and we add an extra digit in the phone number. When we try and save this employee, it warns us and it lets us know. So let's go ahead and fix that. If we make a smaller error, like a simple typo in John's first name, let's go with that. When we save, it will save, but don't worry, we can navigate to the new employee, click on him, and this opens up a new screen. This screen allows for editing. This screen allows for you to edit an already existing employee, so we could fix our typo. We can then save, and it'll bring us back to the list with the fixed typo. Now, if we click on John Snow again, we can see that the edit screen doesn't just allow for quick access of the employee's information and credentials, it also allows us to assign an active employee's schedule. All you have to do is click on the calendar in the bottom left. This screen allows us to assign John Snow's availability for the current schedule. So let's navigate to next month and assign some availability. And as you can see, when we're on a weekend, it only allows us to assign them for the full shift. And on a weekday, we can assign them to AM and PM. Now, if we navigate all the way back and we go to the calendar, we go to a day that we scheduled John Snow to be available on. We could click on that day and we could see that John Snow is now available to be scheduled on that day.
Hello, my name is Malcolm, and I will be demonstrating the app's ability to filter inactive employees from active employees, the deletion of inactive employees, as well as the effect of changing an employee's availability on days that they are already scheduled. As you can see, I have 3 active employees, Scott, Malcolm, and Cole, and 3 inactive employees, being Candy, Connor, and John. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to only display the inactive employees. To do this, we've implemented a filter function. All you need to do is press the filter button in the lower left corner, and it will only display the inactive employees. To go back to the complete list of all employees, just press the button again, and we have all 6 of our employees back. If I were to perhaps add Malcolm as an inactive employee, I'd switch his status, and then as we can see, he is grayed out, so he is inactive. Filtering, he also appears in the inactive employees filtered list. Now let's say perhaps that Candy, Connor, or John are not performing as well as we'd like them to. Perhaps we want to fire them or maybe delete them from the system for other reasons. To do this, we're going to select on the appropriate employee in this case. We're going to select Connor. We're going to verify that Connor is an inactive employee, and then we're going to press the trash can button in the lower left corner of the pop-up. We're going to press delete to confirm the deletion of this employee, and Connor is no longer in the system. Now let's say that we'd like to delete Candy. We're going to verify that Candy is an inactive employee, and we're going to do the same thing we did for Connor. And now Connor and Candy are both no longer in the system. Now let's say we'd like to delete Malcolm as well. Verify that Malcolm is an inactive employee, and then delete Malcolm. Now I'm going to demonstrate what happens when an employee is assigned an availability, then assigned a shift according to that availability, and then later the availability is removed. So for this example, let's use Stott. We're going to say Stott is available to work on April the 13th, which is a Wednesday here. We're going to assign him an AM availability for that day. We're going to back out, go to the calendar, and then assign him a shift in the morning for that day. Stott is now assigned a morning shift on Wednesday the 13th in April. Now let's say perhaps that Stott can no longer work that day due to a familial commitment he forgot about, or perhaps he's unavailable due to personal issues at that time. We're going to go back to Stott's availability calendar. We're going to select the day that he is scheduled, remove him from the availability on that day, back out, and now we're going to check the calendar to ensure that he has been removed from that day, which he has. I'll now pass it to Stott to demonstrate a little bit more of the functionality concerning the calendar.
Hello, my name is Scott, and I'm going to take you through the scheduling portion of our application. So we are currently in the employee list. Now to go to the scheduling calendar, we click the calendar icon at the bottom here. Now this opens the scheduling calendar of the current month. From here, you can cycle through the different months of the year using these buttons to access previous schedules as well as schedules for future months. As a manager, you are scheduling normally a month in advance, so we're going to look at scheduling for May. From this calendar, we have all the different days of the month, as well as an icon in the cell of a green check mark or not, which indicates whether scheduling is complete. Additionally, if you select a day of the month, it highlights as red, indicating the day you have selected, and it gives a summary of the employees that are scheduled for the shifts on that day. Additionally, if you select a shift and you would like to edit the employees that are scheduled, you simply click the edit button, which takes you to a list of employees. From here, when the employees that are highlighted as green are those that are currently scheduled, and you can go through and select the employees you want for your shift. When you have finished selecting, you click assign to assign the scheduling for that day, and those changes will be reflected in the summary. Now the green check mark will show up if the scheduling requirements are fulfilled for a given day. Now the scheduling requirements are that each shift must have a designated opener and closing employee, as well as at least 2 employees must be scheduled for each shift. So on Tuesday, we have an opener on the morning shift as well as 2 employees, and a closer on the afternoon shift as well as 2 employees. Therefore, both requirements are met, therefore scheduling is complete for the day. On a weekend, we have just the full day shift, so we just need to make sure that we have 1 employee to open and 1 employee to close, as well as 2 employees available. Therefore, scheduling requirements are met, and we achieve the scheduling requirement on the Saturday. So we're going to finish the schedule here on the Friday and Saturday. We select the Friday, and we can see that, okay, we have the afternoon shift scheduled, but we need to schedule the morning. So to schedule morning, we hit the Edit AM to access the employees that are available. Now we want to make sure that we have the opener for the morning, as well as at least 2 employees assigned to a shift. So we select Cole and Connor, which are highlighted in green, and we hit assign to assign the scheduling. And we can see that the scheduling has been reflected for the morning, and therefore we now achieve the check mark indicating that all scheduling is complete for this day. Next we go to Saturday, edit schedule. We have the list of employees available, and we make sure we get the employees with opening and closing requirements, and we hit assign, and scheduling is complete for Saturday. For example though, if you wanted to schedule for a busy shift, you can go into a day and edit the schedule, and we can see that we can select up to a third employee. If we try to hit a fourth, it will not allow us, and we have the maximum number of employees scheduled. But if we want to schedule for a busy shift, we can select the 3 employees, and when you assign, it'll just get a confirmation that you want to schedule a busy shift, at which you can hit yes, and we can see that we now have 3 employees scheduled for this busy afternoon shift. Now that the scheduling for the month of May is complete, we can export the schedule to a PDF to be able to distribute to employees. If we go to the Export Schedule button, and we click it, there is one final warning that indicates if any employees do not have at least one shift scheduled for each week in the month. So here we can see that this employee does not have a shift in week 4. We can continue and export the schedule, or we can go back and fix this mistake. So if we go to this shift at the week required, and we schedule the employee with the error, and now we go to Export Schedule, we can see that the warning is gone, and we generated a schedule for the month, which highlights each shift as well as the employees for each shift. Now, if we want to access this file, we can go to the Devices, Files, and the Documents, and we can see that we have the May schedule here. And that concludes the demonstration of this app. Thank you for watching.